Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Twins Talk Arsenal. This is Anastasis and I'm here with Andreas, and today we're going to talk to you about the generic review of how the match went of Arsenal v Newcastle. Andreas, what were your initial thoughts on the game? How do you feel it went?
It's so nice to watch Arsenal play a game where we're playing fluid, attacking, impressive football. Well, particularly the second half. And we're just relaxed about the game as well. I think probably the most impressive thing about our performance was our defensive solidarity. When I saw Andy Carroll up on the lineup for Newcastle, I thought we were going to struggle, but we didn't struggle at all. We kept them quiet all game. I think that's real testament to the kind of defensive work that Arteta has put in on the training ground. And once again, Rob Holding was immense. That boy has come on leaps and bounds since Arteta has been here. And I don't see how he's going to lose his place in the squad.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. I mean, the key positives, so to speak, we've kept another clean sheet. First time we've done that in 10 years, in the sense that we've kept 5 clean sheets in all competitions now in our last 5 games. That's amazing. We haven't had this defensive solidarity for so long. So, it's good that we're kind of rediscovering that. We've scored 3 goals, 3 very good goals. Also at a time when for Arsenal it's maybe been a bit hard, to find goals at home. Aubameyang has found 2 goals. For him it's been hard. He's only scored 1 goal from open play since the Fulham game at the start of the season. So for him to get a brace here against Newcastle, great sign. I think overall it was a very positive performance from Arsenal. Another great game for Saka, another great game for Emile Smith Rowe. They both showed what they're about, what they're capable of in this game. Overall, I think there was a lot of positives for Arsenal from today's game. Much better than the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to nitpick and talk about issues, which I don't want to do because we won 3-0, I would say it was a game of 2 halves, and the first half kind of threatened to get into the similar kind of performance that we had with Crystal Palace. And then the second half, I don't know what Arteta said, but we came out and we were a different team. We were incisive, we were progressive, there was pressure on the ball, and we really played with a lot of confidence. And how important it was that Aubameyang got 2 goals, because I was making my notes for this video, and all I was writing was Abba miss, open goal, Abba miss. I really think that if he hadn't scored, it could have been detrimental. But he got 2 goals, and we should hopefully see him kick on now.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, like you said, with his misses, in the opening 5 minutes, he had that miss from Saka's cross shot. Really it was a bit of a tight angle, but really it was an open goal. You would have maybe expected him to score that.
Yep.
Abba of last season would have scored that. So, it was disappointing when he missed it. But on the other hand, it's good that he kind of redeemed himself and got 2 very good goals. Ultimately we can't ask for more, but yeah, I do agree. I think the first half, there was definitely more to be desired. And in the second half, the Arsenal players came out with a point to prove and, ultimately got the result in the end and got the job done.
Yeah, I agree. Really nice to see Thomas Partey back on the pitch. What a pass for Aubameyang's first goal. This is what this guy can offer us. This is what we've been missing. We spent the big money in the summer. It's January now, and this is the first time we're seeing him play. He was very strong in midfield. He broke up a lot of Newcastle's play. I think he's part of the reason why we managed to keep Newcastle so quiet. I'm glad that we're taking him off early and we're resting him and we're being careful with his kind of return. So yeah, I think Arteta has managed that situation well, and I'm very excited to see what Thomas Partey can do when he solidifies his role in this team and he gets used to, and he forms some partnerships in that team and gets used to playing in Arteta's system.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when you look at how Thomas Partey played today, I mean, it was phenomenal. He broke up a lot of the Newcastle attacks at source. So before they got to the forwards, his breakup play was immense. His interceptions was immense. But also, like you said earlier on, it's his link-up play with the forward line. He acts as that link between the midfield and the attack. And I do think that's something which, we did miss quite badly, while he's been injured. we haven't seen the best of him. You know, he's only just coming back from an injury now. I completely agree. I think it was good that we took him off after 60, 65 minutes. You know, by that stage, the game was won. There's no point in trying to, you know, risk him or play him too much longer once we've got the result in the bag. But I completely agree. I mean, I'm so excited to see how, you know, he's going to play, hopefully, in the coming games, the coming months, etc. I think there's definitely a lot to look forward to. You know, if Aubameyang can find form again and we can keep Partey fit, you know, especially with the emergence of Saka, Emile Smith Rowe, etc. I think it's a very bright future for Arsenal, both in the short term and in the longer term as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we've spoken about Thomas Partey, we've spoken about midfield, we've spoken about up front with Abba. Strong performance again from Laka. You know, we haven't really covered him, but the guy is, you can tell he's playing with confidence. He's pulling off back heels. He's pulling off like tricks and flicks. He's looking really strong up front. You know, this is a Lacazette in form. I wish he'd done it when he wasn't having to negotiate for his contract, but you know, he's looking bang in form right now. I just want to talk about our fullbacks for a second, because both Kieran Tierney and Cedric Suarez were unreal. Kieran Tierney, the difference that boy makes to our team when he plays, you saw what we were lacking against Crystal Palace, and you saw the kind of leadership and drive that he brought to this game. And Cedric Suarez as well, he's had his critics, but today you couldn't have asked for more from him, really. He was solid defensively, and going forward, he was a threat. You know, he created Aubameyang's second goal as well. So credit to both of them. I think they really stepped up, and it's nice that Cedric's finally providing a little bit of competition for that right back spot with Bellerin.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, what I'd probably add to that, you know, I completely agree with everything you've said. I think, you know, you could tell how big a miss Tierney was against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
We didn't have that same energy and that drive down that left-hand side without him. You know, when he played today, you know, you could tell that it was back. You know, he dominates the left-hand side of the field when he plays, you know, both offensively and defensively. You know, he does a great job. Cedric, on the other hand, you know, you've got to give a big thumbs up to him as well. You know, this is a player that before today's game, he only had 5 minutes of Premier League football like this season. So, you know, that's nothing really. You know, this is a guy which maybe traditionally is kind of warming the bench. So to have him now, you know, he played the whole game. He got an assist. You know, I know it's only one game. You can't get too ahead of yourselves. But, you know, it's promising signs. Like, this is exactly what we want in the team. We want players that when they come in, they have their chance, and we want them to take it. And, you know, that's what Cedric did today. He had a very good game.
Exactly that. I think this win was important because, you know, we'd gone through our really bad run. We had the win against Chelsea, and we won a few games on the trot. And then we drew against Crystal Palace. And elements of that draw against Crystal Palace reminded me of the bad run which we had, right?
Yeah, it kind of put us at a crossroads, didn't it? You know, where it could have gone one of two ways.
Exactly that. I think I said this in our last video. Like, if we could have started losing again and we could have slipped back into old habits, or we could do what top teams do, which is have a blip and get back to winning again. And that's exactly what we did today in emphatic fashion. So I think this was a really important win, considering the kind of fixtures we have coming up. You know, we've got Southampton, Wolves, Man United, Aston Villa. These are hard teams that we're going to play. Teams that are all above us in the league right now. Teams which we need to be beaten. So we're going to go into them with a bit of confidence, hopefully. Whereas if we had drawn or lost this game, suddenly we're flagging, and then we've got hard games coming up.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you win, you put yourself in the position that when you then do drop points, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know, you look at like Man United and Liverpool, like, you know, Man United are kind of flying high on the in the table at the moment. Liverpool, obviously, there or thereabouts, you know, competing for the top spot as well. So, you know, like, as an example, when they drew, you know, over the weekend, it's not the end of the world for them. They're both there or thereabouts. They're both where they want to be. So, you know, a few drop points here and there isn't the end of the world. And I kind of think, you know, with Arsenal, we need to get to that position. You know, we need to put a run of wins together so that, you know, if we have one bad performance, it's not the end of the world. Whereas I think, you know, if we'd drawn again today, or if we'd lost, God forbid, you know, we would have had 1 point from 2 games against Crystal Palace and Newcastle, say if we'd lost today's game. And it would have then put us in a position where, you know, we're playing Southampton, we're playing Man United, you know, we've got Villa on the horizon, etc. And we're going into these games with a need to win. And, you know, don't get me wrong, maybe it could bring out the best in the players, but I think the pressure would get to them. You know, you've seen Arsenal this season. They tend to play well when the pressure isn't necessarily on. And when the pressure is on and you need to get wins, you know, sometimes they've been able to grind out the results, but it's not always been the case. So I think, you know, to get a win today is good. You know, it was a disappointing result against Crystal Palace, but we didn't lose. We kept a clean sheet. And, you know, now we've gone back to winning ways, kept the clean sheet. And hopefully it's a case of, you know, if we can just continue to build on from there.
Yeah, I agree. So I think, in summary, great performance. We want to see more of it, and we're kind of looking forward to harder tests and harder games ahead.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I'd probably add to that and say, in summary, you know, definitely promising signs for Arsenal, but there are definitely tougher tests on the horizon. And yeah, it's a case of whether Arsenal have the strength and the capabilities to overcome those different challenges, which, you know, we'll face in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah. But another win, up the Gooners, and we'll see you at Arsenal's next game.
Perfect.